What's going on, guys? I thought I would kind of just sit down today for a little bit and just talk to you guys about how the leaderboard works on Pet Sim. Just talk about how it works. I feel like there's a few common misconceptions, and I feel like there's not really many of those leaderboard videos, tips and videos and information out there that actually apply to today's leaderboards. I feel like a lot of them are many, like just a year old, many months old. So they're quite old and outdated, and they just don't apply to today's leaderboard that works much differently from a year ago, let's say. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you find information out of it. I hope you find it useful. As you can see, I am on leaderboard right now. I'm a leaderboard grinder myself. As you can see, I do enjoy being on the leaderboard. I have the top 10 hoverboard there, and yeah, I hope you do enjoy this video. Now this video may become outdated. I will definitely link an updated video if this video does become outdated, or I will leave in the comments and description if I got something wrong. And yeah, hope you guys do enjoy it. So the first thing I want to cover in this video is the normal pet power, and basically the normal mode. As you can see, I'm in hardcore mode right now, and that's what the leaderboard is kind of built on. So how the leaderboard works is it's actually about divided by 13. I think it's about 13, I'm not sure how much it is, but it's a weird calculation because of how Roblox's limits work and how number limits work. So if we were to have like no calculations and it was just straight pet power like we have right here, basically the leaderboards would be very broken and they would be very buggy. How Preston combated this is he's added like a math calculation that happens, and basically if you're in hardcore, and since hardcore has been added, the leaderboard calculations are a bit different. So how it's calculated is if you're in the normal mode, basically you're just not going to get the amount of power like 62Q. So for example, if you have a dark matter mythical that's not hardcore, it won't give you much power. I think a lot of people know this. If you didn't, basically how hardcore works is if you have a hardcore pet, that stat times 1,000,000,000 or plus 1,000,000,000,000 or something like that. And that's why the leaderboard is calculated like that, because if it was like that original calculation, it would be very buggy. So basically that leads into my next point, that you really should be grinding for hardcore mode. Normal mode is just not where you want to be unless you want to just hatch huges for like really good. So the next thing I want to go into is how your huge pets, basically how golds and rainbows give an advantage. So basically your huge pets all have best friend enchants on them. So as you can see, they all have best friend, except for obviously Titanics and these small companion pets. They have their respective enchants on them, but as you can see, all huge pets have the best friend enchant. What is not mentioned here though is the fact that your golden and rainbow huges are worth more power than your normal huges. So your normal huges are just worth your normal. Your gold huges I think are worth 2 times. I'm probably wrong, and I think rainbow huges are worth like 4 times power on leaderboard and for breakables. I think the top 10 or the top 5 would have just full inventories of rainbow huge pets. Basically Preston added this I think about a year ago to make it so leaderboard's a little bit more challenging. So a full inventory of huge pets obviously was not enough for Preston, so he decided to make gold huges and rainbow huges be much more powerful toward the leaderboard. So yeah, that's a quick little tip. I think a lot of people already know about that. If you didn't, well, you learned something new. Yeah, so let's hop into the next topic. So next topic is the companion enchant. So basically, as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not even 5.5 rows of huge pets. Basically, my inventory is mainly just these companion pets. These companion pets are really easy to get there. A lot of them are really cheap to pick up. Some of them can be a bit more expensive to pick up for gems or real life money or exclusive eggs. These companion pets do count towards leaderboard. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5, not even 5.5 rows of huge pets, that would be not enough for leaderboard. So I have all of these filler companion enchant pets, all these small exclusives. They actually do count towards leaderboard. So if you have a companion 1 pet, it counts like it's like 50% of a huge pet, or your strongest pet. Basically the same rule applies. So your golden and rainbow huge pets, it applies to your stat matching or your companion pets as well. Shiny doesn't apply though. I'm not sure why shiny doesn't apply. I think it only applies to your stat pet, your mythicals and legendaries and all those actual non-exclusive pets. I'm not sure why it doesn't happen on exclusives. It might be fixed soon by Preston. So if you can't get a full inventory of huge pets, which I think a lot of people can't, which is completely understandable, you want to mainly aim for these much cheaper companion pets. They will eventually get you on leaderboard. I think you can get on leaderboard with just a full inventory of companion pets and a really good stat pet. I think it is doable. Definitely was doable for me. I think a week or two ago. Hopefully these companion pets kind of inspire some people to go for the leaderboard, because obviously getting a full inventory of huge pets is quite daunting. It's quite hard to get. It's quite hard to do. So yeah, hope that is a quick little tip that some of you guys did not know about. The next thing I will talk about is your stat pet itself. So as I mentioned before, you want to have a hardcore stat pet, whether you bought it or you hatched it. You want to have a hardcore stat pet. This is what is going to give you your pet power, because obviously how the multiplier and everything works. Another issue that happens with the leaderboard is if you, for example, let me grab this armadillo, 1.42k power right here. As you can see, I have 62.24 power, and I just dropped 20q power. 20q power just got removed from me just because I added this one armadillo there. So that leads to my next point, that your best stat pet should be the only thing in your inventory. You should not have any other like armadillos, or even some better stat pets like your 842 snow pegasus. That will even bring your pet power down. So the only stat pet that you want to have in your inventory, even if you don't have a full inventory of even companion pets, you don't want to add these, like you don't want to add these snowflake pegasus, for example, these 845 trillions as filler pets. You don't want to add these to your inventory, because all they're going to do is bring your power down, and they won't even add power. They won't even add power because of how it's calculated. I'm not sure why it's calculated like that, but that's just how it's calculated. So yeah, just another quick tip, as I mentioned before, if you can't afford huge pets, which is completely understandable, you mainly probably want to go for these much cheaper companion pets. Even these party dogs, there's only 1 million of them, which may seem like a lot, but as you can see, if I go to these other scary cats and party cats and all these, with the scary cat, there are much more of them. There's 2.6 million of them. Party cat is 2.5 million. There's a lot more of them, and they would be much easier to get, and they would be much cheaper. Obviously, as I slowly go higher, as you can see, these companion 2s will be a bit more expensive. These companion 3s are going to be even more expensive, and obviously huge pets as a whole still considerably expensive. Even the cheapest one is about 7.5 billion, which is obviously the normal huge hell rock. How it is calculated is you also need to be in hardcore mode at all times, which kind of goes into my final topic. You always need to be in hardcore mode if you want your power calculated correctly. If you go to the normal world or the plaza, your power then gets calculated as if this is a normal, or like a 2.5 times, something like that, because Preston nerfed, if you guys remember how Preston nerfed hardcore pets a few updates ago. They used to be really OP in the normal world. Now they're just like normal pets as if you go there. So that's why your power is calculated weirdly if you go to the plaza or the normal world. So you want to be basically sitting in hardcore at all times if you want to be sitting on leaderboard. You can't go flex on your friends unless they join you in hardcore. So yeah, that is kind of how it works, which isn't that great, but you know, hopefully Preston does fix it. I'm not sure how Preston would fix it, but yeah, that is how it works. So that kind of ends off today's video. If there's any information wrong, I will update you guys in the description or in the comments as well if I did mess something up. If I did mess something up and you know much more about the leaderboard, please let me know in the comments. Also, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you did find this video useful. If I did inspire you to go for the leaderboard, because companion pets do count and you don't need a full inventory of huge pets, welcome to the leaderboard. If you do get on here, maybe I may even make the leaderboard more competitive. We will see. Hope you did enjoy today's video, and I'll hope to see you in another one of my live streams or videos.